Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Andrew and welcome back to Andrew's Aviation. Today I'm at Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport headed to Phuket, Thailand for a fun day trip. I'm really excited to bring you what is probably one of my most interesting trip reports, because on this flight, we'll be flying an ex-wowair A321 operated by Viet Jet Thailand. For those of you who don't know who wowair was, they were a low-cost carrier based in Iceland that had a very wacky and iconic brand. They started operations in 2012 during the big travel boom in Iceland, and by 2018 had expanded to tons of different cities across Europe, North America, and India. Their expansion was so fast that eventually the company became unstable, and then out of what seemed like nowhere, they ceased operations the following year. It's not the complete end for the airline though, as there's been a few startups proposed to bring WOW back. I didn't get the chance to fly on WOW before they collapsed, but now we have an opportunity to see what it was like to fly them. It's like the aviation gods are giving me a second chance. I know it won't be exactly the same, but it's still gonna be a lot of fun. So anyways, of all the places to fly from Bangkok, why Phuket, you may ask? Well, Phuket, Thailand is actually very well known among av geeks. The airport sits right on the beach where planes take off and land just meters from where you're standing. It's very comparable to the island of St. Martin in the Caribbean, except Phuket still gets 747 flights. So, case in point, I'm on my way to go plane spotting for the day. And here's our aircraft, a Viet Jet Airbus A321-200 still in its stunning purple wowair livery. Well, most of it anyway. This aircraft actually has quite the background. When wowair ceased all operations back in March of 2019, they had 10 A321 family aircraft. Some were owned by wowair, and others were leased from the Chinese company BOCOM Leasing. This aircraft, once registered as TFNOW, was returned to BOCOM when WOW shut down, re-registered as an Irish aircraft as tail number EI-GOX, then leased again to Viet Jet under its current number of HS-VKM. I just love how Viet Jet left most of the wowair livery untouched. The purple is like a tattooed reminder showing the aircraft's glory days of flying for one of the wackiest and funnest airlines out there. If you guys thought the exterior of this plane was purple, just check out the inside. It seems that literally nothing major has been touched or replaced since the aircraft's days at wowair. It's not like the cabin really needed that much of a change anyways. VietJet's A320 family fleet has a similar configuration of an all-economy cabin with a few quote-unquote first-class seats in front. Regarding how seating works on VietJet, it works the same way as buying a basic economy ticket. You can choose where you want to sit beforehand or press your luck during check-in and hope you get a good spot. Today, I'll be sitting in economy seat 7F, which has a fantastic engine view. We'll be enjoying that view for most of the flight, but for now, let's check out our wow factor seat. Haha, no? Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, these seats are exactly the same as WOW left them. From first impressions, it might look like these seats were made for longer flights, and that's cause they definitely were. There's a decent sized tray table with cup holders, 2 giant seatback pockets for all the junk we bring on board, a power outlet below the seat, and a device holder for all your gadgets. The seats are also spaced relatively comfortably for a budget airline, offering 30 inches of pitch and 17 inches of width. The part of the seat that you actually sit on is made of the fake leather material you see on a lot of US airlines. I'd actually prefer this kind of material on a flight rather than the fabric kind, because it does a better job of keeping you cool, and it was a hot day during this flight. Some of the WOW memorabilia still remains, like the Icelandic language on the back of the tray table, the terrible knee-slapping puns on the ceiling, the flight attendant computer system, and, the entire carpet. The only thing that says that this is a Viet Jet plane besides the crew, of course, are the safety information cards and magazines. So this seat looks pretty great, and it perfectly matches the wowair ones that I looked up on Google, so I know it's the real thing and Viet Jet didn't change anything. But that's enough of the seat for now, so let's push back and finally get airborne. I'm sure it's common knowledge around the world that budget airlines like Viet Jet don't offer any extra services above what's absolutely necessary, unless of course you throw a few extra dollars their way. Everything they offer in flight is found in their little menu, which doesn't just contain food items, but some toys and knickknacks as well. I figured that I wouldn't get a chance to fly Viet Jet again for a while, so I went for the full experience and decided to pre-order some late breakfast, early lunch, or whatever you want to call it. By doing that, you can save 20% on the original cost. So for $5, I got a chicken pad thai meal with a water bottle and a walnut brownie. The chicken and noodles were so-so. Presentation doesn't really matter because this food is coming straight out of a microwave container, but the taste wasn't too much to brag about. Still, I hadn't eaten anything this morning because I'd been anticipating this meal, and I'm not letting a good $5 go down the drain, so I finished it anyway. The brownie I had was, how do I say this, very cakey and dry. I'm not trying to be Gordon Ramsay or anything and yell at the flight crew because they're horrible cooks or anything and they don't deserve their spot in the finals, but just saying it wasn't what one would expect from a brownie. I even used a fork to eat this thing, and this thing made so many crumbs that I think the table enjoyed more of it than I did. So for any flight, entertainment or stuff to do is a big thing. Many of us know full well that some airlines invest heavily on this stuff, providing free touchscreens, movies, games, and Wi-Fi. VietJet, on the other hand, does not. WoW didn't have any Wi-Fi or entertainment on their flights either, so I guess this plane was a good match. Of course, like on most other budget carriers, it's everyone for themselves. I could stare out of the window all day and leave myself to my thoughts, but that's too dangerous. So instead, I pulled out my computer again just to listen to whatever free music I had downloaded. The flight time between Bangkok and Phuket is only an hour and a half long, so after only a few songs, it was time to descend. So a few things to know before you fly VietJet. The first being that this plane is not the best representation of their fleet. I just so happened to be booked on the ex-wowair airplane, which has a better rated cabin and seat, instead of one of their normal ones. Also, carry-on and checked bags will cost you extra if you bring them on board. Anything you can fit under the seat will be free though. If you're wondering what the booking experience compares to, like I said, it's the same as if you were booking on any other budget carrier. Seat selection is randomly assigned at check-in if you don't reserve one, and you can get by with just the cheapest fare unless you have a bunch of stuff with you. Lastly, understand that since VietJet is a budget carrier, you're not going to get top quality service. You're going to get the bare minimum of what you need, which is just a random seat and a few magazines. But hey, considering you'd be getting there without breaking the bank, I'd say it's a pretty fair deal. Anyways, hope you guys use that information to book your next flight, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Like I said, this airport has planes going right over the beach for some fantastic landings, and I can't wait to get my sandals on and go plane spotting. But first, let me tell you that this flight was just really cool. I'd never thought I'd ever get to be on a WoW airplane, and I think nowadays this is about as close as I'm gonna get, and I'm satisfied with that. I'd also like to try an actual VietJet flight sometime, and hopefully that'll be a trip report for another day. So what do you guys think of VietJet and WoW Air? Any stories, experiences, or past flights you'd like to share? Let me know down in the comments below. Well, that's it for me today. I'm off to go figure out how the heck I'm gonna get to the beach without getting lost or run over by a car. If you liked this video, pound that like button and subscribe to Andrew's Aviation for some more dank videos. And, as always, have a wonderful day everyone.